Welcome back to A Game of Fangs and Thrones. My name's Hannah, and this is my little weekly catch up with you guys. So, excuse me. So I have just filmed an unhaul. These books are available to purchase if you're interested, no pressure, and that will be up sometime next week, probably Wednesday. So let's just talk about what I've been reading this week while playing with a ball of yarn, wool, whatever you want to call it. So I started the week off reading Zodiac Academy. This is a Kindle Unlimited book, so the photo will be here somewhere. And I really enjoyed that. I thought I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I gave that 4.5 stars in the end. It was really enjoyable. It had some quirky characters. I loved Darcy and Tori's relationship. I think everybody knows what this book is at this point. But it follows twins, Darcy and Tori, as they discover, not long after their 18th birthday, that they are the heirs to a kingdom, and they also find out that they are Fae. Now, this is what dropped that half star for me, because they are, in my opinion, they are overpowered. They're not Mary Sue's by any means, because Tori is just angry girl. But they have the power of all the elements, where most people only have one, and 2 or 3 is rare at the best of times. They have all of them. So that did kind of take me out of it a little bit, as well as some little word choices, but on the most part it was a fun and enjoyable read. Then I read Wizard Rise by Philip Tomaso. This was an ebook, so picture up here, and this is a fairly straightforward fantasy where a farm boy, Mika, I want to say, I've forgotten his name already, but farm boy Mika discovers that he is a wizard and is sent on an adventure to save the world, basically. I gave it 4 stars. There was some missing words, whether that's just how it was formatted or missed in editing, I don't know, but that jarred me a little bit and it took me out of the story. So basically, for me to, I think I've explained this in other videos, but for a 1 star, DNF hated it, won't continue. 2 star, I finished it, but I didn't like it. 3 star isn't a bad rating for me, it just means it was decent. But I won't reread it. 4, enjoyed it, probably will reread it, just not a favourite. A couple of bits here or they take me out of the story. I don't love it. 5 star, love it. If something gets an emotional reaction from me, it's a 5 star all the way, because that's why we read. But so Wizard's Rise got a 4 star. I really enjoyed it, and I probably will continue with the series, and at some point I probably will reread it. It just, there was little bits stopped it from being a 4 star, but it is only the first in the series, so hopefully the second and so on do improve. So I think that's the risk when a series starts up. Okay, I think that's the risk when a series starts as a 5 star. Tristan Strong, what was a very high 4? I'm trying to think what was a 5 star read. The Mistborns were 5, I think. So it kind of puts you a little bit on edge for how the rest of the series will go, unless it's Nevermore. That is a 5 star, and Wondersmith was a 5-star as well. I'm hoping Hollowpox will be, but because the rest of the series so far has been 5 stars, I am a little bit hesitant to pick them up for that reason. So and then the last book I read, I actually finished this last night, is For the Throne by Hannah Whitten. This is a sequel to For the Wolf, so I can't talk too much about this particular book, but it did get a 4-star. I loved it. I just didn't get an emotional connection, and it's unfair to rate this a 4. It'd be unfair to rate this a 5-star when I didn't laugh, cry, whatever, which I was so close to doing in Zodiac Academy and Wizard's Rise, when I didn't get it for this one. So it seems a bit unfair, but ratings are subjective. But basically, like I said, this is a sequel, so I can't talk too much about it. But For the Wolf follows Red, who is the second daughter, and in this world, the second daughter is for the wolf, the first daughter is for the throne. And it is basically a dark take on Little Red Riding Hood. So Red is accepting of her fate. She's been raised knowing she is going to be sacrificed. So she goes to the Wilderwood. She's sacrificed to the Wilderwood, and obviously things aren't as they appear. Meanwhile, her sister Neve is trying to stop it from the kingdom, and this is obviously the fallout and conclusion to what happened in the first book. This is the Barnes & Noble's edition. Yes, it has deckled edges, which I'm not a fan of. They make it very awkward to read, but it has French flaps, and we know how I feel about a French flap. They work so well as bookmarks. But yeah, this also included the short story For the Wilderwood, which is a bit of a prequel, and it helped place some of the more historical aspects of this book. So yeah, and then I'm not currently reading anything, but I am thinking maybe next week will be a bit of a middle grade madness week, because as you can see, my stack of middle grades is fairly balanced, but I like middle grade covers. I want to see these covers. So I have the Sophie Anderson book, which is The Thief Who Sang Storms. Hollowpox, as mentioned, and we have some ones that I can't remember. Midsummer's Mayhem, and another one in the corner, which I think is The Last Bay. So I'll probably be making my way through that stack. Just because they're quick, and I want to get a little bit of writing done this week as well. Actually, after I film this and one more video, I'm just going to focus on writing. I mean, I think I'm a pantser. I don't plot. I end up procrastinating. So I just sort of write. And so far, I'm just about finished chapter 1 of the first draft, so we shall see where that ends up. But I do actually have a mini haul this week. No, I have not broken my book buying ban as such. I am still doing Read 9 by 1, which I have to film and sort out what book I want for that, because I have read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm a little bit behind on that, but I have a gift. My sister ended up with 2 copies of this book, so I said I would take one off her hands, and that is Nothing More to Tell by Karen M. McManus. Karen M. McManus writes YA thrillers. I did read one, I think I read One of Us Is Lying. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I know I read The Cousins, which I did enjoy. But true crime can leave a false trail. 4 years ago, Bryn left St. Ambrose School following the shocking murder of her favourite teacher. The case was never solved, but she's sure that the 3 kids who found Mr. Larkin's body know more than they're telling, especially her ex-best friend, Trip Talbot. He's definitely hiding something. When Bryn gets an internship working on a popular true crime show, she decides to investigate what really happened that day in the woods. But the further she dives into the past, the more secrets she finds. 4 years ago, someone got away with murder. Now it's time to uncover the truth. Then I have 3 Kindle Unlimited books, which I have forgotten what they are about, and I don't have my phone with me. I think it's downstairs, so I can't just get up with the synopsis from the Kindle app. But we have Secrets of Green and Gold, book 1 by Jo Holloway. Picture up here. From what I remember, this is a story about a girl who hears where animals talk to her. I'll obviously confirm these more when I've actually read the books. Divine by Mistake, book 1 of The Parthenon by P.C. Cass. Now I do know a little bit about this one. This is a goddess inspired story, and I don't know much more about that. But I do enjoy P.C. Cass's writing. When she's writing on her own, I didn't really like House of Night. I think that dragged on too much, and it was just something cringy about the writing. And I think it's because she was writing with her daughter, and I don't know if that's the right dynamic. But I enjoy her solo works so far. Then we have Montrose Paranormal Academy, which is the box set by Barbara Hartdoyer, which again don't really know much about, but will probably update you when I have it, when I've read it, or at least read the first book so I can see what's going on. But I guess plans for this week include middle grade, but I'm definitely got an itch. Sorry, I think I had something on my face there. But I'm definitely in a middle grade mood and a mood reader. I tend to read more when I want to read it rather than when I'm forced to read it for a TBR. Even when it comes to readathons, I think, and at the end of this month, which will be next week's wrap up, I will go through the prompts for the Great Bookish TBR off, which is a monthly readathon, and see what fits with. See if any of the reads I've done so far fit the prompts, and then we shall go from there. So yeah, that's it for this little catch up. If you like this video, give it a like and hit that subscribe button if you want to see this, talk about these, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.